She was barely 9 years old, her tiny hands trembling as she rubbed a soapy rag across the windshield of a black SUV. Her torn slippers flopped against the boiling asphalt, her tattered school uniform drenched in sweat under the merciless July sun. But her eyes, those wide, desperate brown eyes, never blinked away from the rearview mirror, silently hoping the man behind the wheel would roll down his window and hand her just $5. That was all she needed. $5 to buy her mother's medicine. $5 to keep her alive. But he drove off. She stood still for a second, letting the exhaust fumes blur her teary vision. Then she turned to the next car. Then the next, and the next. Uncle, please, can I clean your window? Just 5 rupees, please. I mean $5, just for Mama's medicine, she whispered like a broken prayer. Nobody listened. Some scowled, some honked angrily, a few cursed, but none heard her story. None saw the bandages on her mother's chest. None heard the groans from the small rented room she had left behind. They didn't see the blood in the sink that morning. They didn't smell the fever. They didn't hear her cry into her pillow the night before when her mother had whispered, "If only we had $5, I could breathe again, baby." She was losing hope, until a sleek, vintage Rolls-Royce stopped at the red light. A man in a gray suit, wearing dark sunglasses and a heavy look on his face, stared straight ahead. She hesitated. This car looked too expensive. He looked too important. But she had to try. The medicine shop would close in an hour. She walked over slowly, heart thudding. But before she could speak, the man turned and lowered the window. "Do you believe in miracles?" he asked her softly. She blinked, stunned. "Sir." He stared at her with eyes that looked like they once belonged to someone full of life. Now they were hollow. "I was just about to give up on life today. But then, I saw you." Her lips trembled. "I just need $5 for my mom. She's very sick. I'll clean all your windows, I swear. I'll do anything." He said nothing. The light turned green. Horns blared behind him, but he didn't move. Then he took off his sunglasses, and his eyes filled with tears. "What's your name?" he asked. "Zoya, Zoya," he whispered like a memory. "My daughter was named Zoya." The man pulled his car over to the side. That moment changed everything. Zoya sat nervously in the front seat of the vintage Rolls-Royce, still clutching the half-wet rag she had used to clean windows just moments ago. Her eyes darted between the dazzling dashboard and the man beside her. He hadn't spoken since asking her name. His knuckles were tight around the steering wheel, though the car wasn't moving. He simply stared through the windshield as if lost in another world. After a long, strange silence, he finally spoke. "How old are you, Zoya?" "9, sir," she replied, voice barely above a whisper. He nodded slowly. "You said your mother is sick." She has a chest infection. The doctor said she needs antibiotics. She can't breathe well. We don't have money. Papa died last year in an accident." I'm trying." Her voice cracked at the last word, and tears she had tried to hold in all day spilled over. The man turned slowly, watching her cry. "I had a daughter," he said suddenly. "She would have been 10 this year. Her name was Zoya too." Her crying stopped. "She died 2 years ago. Leukemia. I had all the money in the world, but I still couldn't save her. After she passed, I lost everything. My wife left. My friends disappeared. I locked myself away. Today was the first day I took this car out in almost a year. I was driving to the bridge." Zoya tilted her head, not understanding. "I wasn't coming back," he said, voice raw. Silence filled the car again, except for the soft hiccups of Zoya's breathing. "I saw you," he whispered. "And for the first time in 2 years, I saw purpose. I saw a reason to stop." Zoya wiped her face. "Sir, please, my mom needs the medicine." He smiled sadly. "You're not asking for yourself. You're not begging. You're fighting. You remind me of my Zoya." With that, he pulled out his phone and made a call. Within minutes, a sleek black SUV arrived behind them. A uniformed driver got out and saluted the man. "Take this little girl home," the man instructed. "And get her mother the best doctor in the city. Spare no expense. I want her breathing within the hour. Go." Zoya gasped. "Wait, really, you mean it?" He looked at her with eyes filled with both sorrow and peace. "Yes, but not because I'm kind. Because you just saved my life, little girl." Tears welled in her eyes again, but this time they were warm. "Can I know your name, sir?" He nodded. Adam Khan." She repeated it like a prayer. "Thank you, Mr. Adam." The driver guided Zoya into the SUV, and within the hour, her mother was hooked to oxygen and monitored by specialists in a private hospital room. Zoya never let go of her mother's hand the entire time, whispering, "It's going to be okay now, Mama. I met an angel today." 1 week later, Adam Khan visited the hospital quietly, flowers in hand. He watched from the doorway as Zoya giggled with her recovering mother, feeding her soup. They both looked healthier, brighter. Zoya saw him and ran into his arms. "I cleaned your windows, but you cleaned my whole life," she said. He knelt down, pulling her close. "No, Zoya, you reminded me that life still has meaning. That giving is the only thing that makes pain bearable." He later asked Zoya's mother if he could set up a trust for her daughter's education, promising to support her until she finished college. The mother cried so hard, she could barely thank him. 6 months later, Zoya stood at the podium at her school's charity event, now dressed in a crisp uniform, her hair tied neatly. She spoke with confidence. "There was a day when all I needed was $5, she said to the crowd. But instead, God sent me a lonely man who had lost his own little girl. And together, we saved each other." In the audience, Adam Khan clutched a photograph of his late daughter, eyes glistening with pride. Final words narration ending for video. Sometimes, the smallest cry for help can awaken the biggest hearts. Zoya didn't just receive $5, she gained a father figure, and Adam didn't just save a little girl's mother, he found a reason to live again. Sparkles, if this story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring real-life stories that prove love still exists, even in the darkest moments. Sparkles.